Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name's Alexa, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the 15 books that I want to read in October. Now this month I'm not using the TBR jar because I have a bunch of books that I need to read for videos, and I have a bunch of books that I already want to read on my own. So yeah, I have a good mix of like romance and fantasy, and it's all books that I wanted to read for a while. And we are going to take a few books off of my physical TBR, which is nice because it's long, not gonna lie. But yeah, we're gonna get into this and into the books that I wanna read. So I'm gonna start with my physical TBR as always, and then gonna move on to the books that are like on my Kindle and all that. So first, I wanna finish Magnolia Park's Into the Dark by Jessa Hastings. It is the currently like the last one that's out. There's gonna be I think 7 in total, so this one is the 5th book in the Magnolia Park series, so there are some left to like have out. It's 708 pages, so it's a very long book, and I've made it 111 pages so far. I started it I think in August, and I haven't read it since then, but like I remember what's happening. But this one is, I feel, heavier than the other books because it deals with some heavier subjects. Like it's less of a light read. Not that any of these books are a light read, but it does wreck you emotionally more than the others, so that's why I've kind of like paused. Then we have Filthy Rich Fae by Geneva Lee. This one is a paranormal romance. The really quick blurb is, you made a bargain, your soul for his, and you are not mine. Let me just quickly read the whole thing. It takes place in New Orleans, and basically it's in this world where there's fae, of course, and this character, basically her brother gets entangled into the whole mess of like a crime family, and then after that what happens is basically she meets like the royal family in like the forbidding prince of New Orleans himself, and beg for her brother's life. And then she makes a bargain, and then she has 30 days to break that bargain, or else she's his forever. So I'm very excited for this one. I can't wait to read it, and it is somewhat of a quick read. It's 347 pages, so for a fantasy that's pretty short, because I'm usually used to like the 500, 600 page fantasies. And talking about 500, 600 page fantasy, we are moving on to a 700 page fantasy, which is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This one is a fantasy with dragons, which people have compared this book to Fourth Wing, which is one of my favorite books of all time, if you didn't already know, and it's probably my favorite fantasy my favorite fantasy series. So I definitely am really excited to read this one. It's 690 pages, so basically 700. And I don't know much about it because I kind of like to go in books mostly blind, just like read the back a bit. But I do forget most of the time what the back says, so I end up almost always going into the books blind. The cover is absolutely gorgeous, and this is intimidating. Then we have a romance that is perfect for the fall, and I can't wait to read, and it is You Again by Kate Goldbeck. This one I've heard has a bit of a like You've Got Mail vibes, but I might be completely wrong actually. Oh no, it is When Harry Met Sally, not You've Got Mail. I've been saying You've Got Mail forever, but no, it's the USA Today said when Harry Met Sally retelling, lovable and laugh out loud funny. Oh, I'm really excited for it because I really love When Harry Met Sally. I also love You've Got Mail, but like, so I think it takes place in New York, and it is in New York, and it's a fall vibe. Like, look at the foliage on the cover. It is like, I'm obsessed with it. By the way, I'm really excited to read this. Like, Ali Hazelwood said that it's fresh, witty, and utterly romantic. And you guys know I love Ali Hazelwood, so I cannot wait to read this. And it's probably one of my the ones I'm most excited about for that month. Then we have House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. So this is the 4th month that I've put this book on my TBR, and I haven't read it yet. But for this, then I figured out what I'm gonna do because it's pretty intimidating. I'm gonna make an Audible account to get the free like trial, and I'm gonna get the audiobook of this because it's 27 hours. I don't usually listen to audiobooks that are longer than like 12, 13 hours, but I've heard that the series gets better as it goes, and I might like read along with it, so that's pretty exciting. And it's like, this book is 800 pages, so I guess it's a month of like very big books. After that, then we have Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. This is the second book in the Renegade series. I read the first book in November of 2020, and I really enjoyed the first one, and my reading tastes have kind of changed, but I'm really hoping that I'll like this one still. It's like, this book is like 450 pages. I don't know what has held me back all these years, but I'm currently technically on page 53. So I only have 400 pages left. So I'll definitely probably read this at the start of the month, just because I'm already I'm already partially in, but I cannot wait to read this. Okay, now on to the last book of my actual physical TBR part of the TBR video. We have All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Now this book is the third book in the Natural series. I finished the second one just this morning. Can't wait to get on to the next one. I was gonna say something, but I think that's gonna spoil you guys that series, because this one is the third book in the series, as I mentioned already. But this is a series, the whole like series is kind of, it gives off Criminal Mind vibes. It's about these 5 teenagers who are kind of like in a group with the FBI, where they only work on cold cases and try to solve murders, and they get involved in a whole lot of things. So that gives you nothing, I guess, for the books, but it is what it is. Now on to the little ebook. So the first book that I will be reading on my Kindle is Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. This is the second book in the Rose Hill series, which is a series with all single dads as the love interest. And if you know me, you know I love a good single dad trope, because yeah. So the little, like, it's basically this series is the third series kind of in the whole Eaton siblings world. The first one was Wild Love, which was released in April, and Wild Eyes was released in, I think, yes, the first week of September, or second week of September, that's when Wild Eyes was released. This is the series that comes after the Chestnut Spring series, so I love that series and I read it all. I need to read the series that starts with like a photo finish and has like a false start, all those books, because it does have Violet Eaton, which is the only daughter of the Eaton family, and most of the Eaton family are in the Chestnut Spring series, and now this is all like, it's all like interconnected series of interconnected standalones, which is my favorite, and I love the small town aspect, and I feel like it's gonna give me a bit of a fall vibe. I don't know. But it's about Weston Belmont and what is her name? So I don't know her name because it's not there, but so many people have loved it. I've heard some people say that it's their favorite in this series. And yeah, I think, okay, yeah, so she's a country singer, and like after bad press, she's trying to find some peace, and she finds it in Rose Hill. Basically it's this whole girl in the dilemma of like, should I stay in the small town life or should I live that like glamorous country star life? So I guess it's gonna be pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever read a book with a country music star. I've read like the When in Rome book that does have a pop star, and I think I've read other pop star books, but I've never read a country music star. And if you don't know me, you wouldn't know that I love country music, but I love country music. So that's gonna be great. Then I'm gonna read If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. Now I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know what this book was until yesterday. I did read the blurb very quickly. I was randomly scrolling on Kindle while trying to make my TBR yesterday, and I found it. I thought the cover was gorgeous. I was like, ooh, the orange is kind of giving me fall vibes. I need to add it immediately to the TBR. And now I found out that's like, it's a 500-page romance book. But yeah, I thought the cover was really cute, and then I found out that it's like a small town romance. The guy's a single dad and he's a baker. And I don't know why, but I'm always attracted to like baker romances. I love when one of them is a baker. I do love baking myself. I don't do it often because I create a mess and then the whole dishes and everything takes me hours to clean. But I do like to get a baking fix by making like those little, I'll pop an image here of like, but the little Pillsbury cookies like around Halloween, like they have the whole themed one and it's sugar cookies with the image inside. So I really love those. So that gives me my baking fix. But all that to say, I love a good baking romance. It's set in Vermont. Oh my god, and Vermont is really not far from here, and I love Vermont actually. It's in a small town called, the girl basically gets a bed and breakfast from her mom in Vermont. Like, I think her mom dies. Okay, yeah, she says that she's like, basically she has to run the inn for 3 months to pass it after that down to her little sister. And it's this whole, he's a baker, she has an inn, and it's in Vermont, and I'm pretty sure it's set in the fall. So I'm pretty excited. Oh my god, and he's her neighbor? I love that. That is adorable. This book sounds like everything. I'm so happy that I judged a book by its cover. After that, we have Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. This one is one that I've seen going around TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. It took it by a storm, and it is a fantasy. I've heard that people say it's kind of like Kingdom of the Wicked meets Caraval, but in a more darker adult type of like way. I think it's a 700-page fantasy book. It is 512 books. I guess I'm just gonna read a lot of long books this month, but it's fine. Caraval meets Throne of Fallen in this dark romantasy where a necromancer needs help from a dangerous phantom to win a deadly competition, only to find their partnership puts her at risk of breaking the game's most vital rule: don't fall in love. When Ophelia and her sister discovers their mother brutally murdered, there's no time to grieve. Ophelia has inherited both her powerful death-driven magic and enormous debt on their home. Circumstances go from dire to deadly. However, when Ophelia's sister decides to pay off the loan by entering Phantasma, a competition where most contestants don't make it out alive and the winner is granted a single wish. The only way to save her sister is to compete. But Phantasma is a cursed manor with twisting corridors and lavish ballrooms filled with enticing demons and fatal temptations. Ophelia will need to face 9 floors of challenges to win if her fears don't overtake first. When a charming, arrogant stranger claims he can protect and guide Ophelia, she knows she shouldn't trust him. While Blackwell may not seem dangerous, appearances can be deceptive, but with her sister's life on the line, Ophelia can't afford to turn him away. She just needs to ignore the overwhelming dark attraction drawing them closer and closer together. Because in Phantasma, the only thing deadlier than losing the game is losing your heart. Like, you can't tell me that that doesn't sound like Caraval, which I already loved, but 10 times better. Like, it sounds like Caraval meets a bit of Belladonna, a bit of Kingdom of the Wicked. It sounds perfect, and I'm so excited to read it. Then we have Clean Point by Meg Jones. This one I've been wanting to read for months, but it hasn't been out yet, and it hasn't even been out on Kindle Unlimited, but I found out that it's on Kindle Unlimited yesterday. I've been seeing it on my Instagram everywhere. I've been wanting to read it, okay? If you guys didn't know, me and my best friend saw Challengers together. If you're watching this, hi, love you. And I basically was obsessed with the movie and everything about it. I need to rewatch it 500 million times. I saw that this was like a tennis romance, and I was like, I need to read. So it's an enemies to lovers romance about a disgraced player who partners with her father's rival for a chance at redemption. Perfect for fans of Carrie Soto's Back and Icebreaker. I loved Carrie Soto's Back. I'm so excited to read it. So yeah, it's basically a whole, like, the guy is now back after an injury that like affected him for a while, which is exactly the premise of two of the characters in Challengers. So I feel like this is perfect. The cover's gorgeous. Mixed doubles to lover, protective MMC, dual point of view. She's in her Reputation era, competition set at Wimbledon. The guy is 33, the girl is 25, and just this is the aesthetic of the girl. This is so basically the girl, party girl, hat thief, tennis player, the guy, a reluctant cat dad, overprotective, and former #1. It looks just absolutely perfect. I'm extremely excited to read it, and I've been wanting to read it forever. Then we have The Serpent and Wings of the Night. No, Serpent and Wings of Night. So this one is by Carissa. It has like a tournament. So basically, human or vampire, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always, always guard your heart. The adopted human daughter of the Nightborn vampire king, Oriya, carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering a legendary tournament held by the goddess herself. But winning won't be easy amongst the most vicious warriors from all 3 vampire houses. To survive, Oriya is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Rain? I don't know. Is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. What terrifies Oriya most of all is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him. But there's no room for compassion in the Kajari. War for the House of Night brews, shattering everything that Oriya thought she knew about her home, and Rain may understand her more than anyone. But the blossoming attraction could be her downfall in a kingdom where nothing is more deadly than love. The Serpent and Wings of Night is the first book in a new series of heart-wrenching romance, dark magic, bloodthirsty intrigue, and perfect for fans from Blood and Ash and the Court of Thorns and Roses. I haven't read From Blood and Ash, but I've read Court of Thorns and Roses, and I'm so excited for those vibes. I think that book is like 600 pages as well, so it's gonna be a month of long books. But I'm really in my reading era, and it's fall, and I always read a lot in fall, so I'm pretty excited for that. Then we have Bonded by Thorns. I'm really excited to read this one. I saw that the girl is like an awkward bookworm, and it's like, so yeah, the girl is an awkward bookworm, and it's a fae romance, fae fantasy romantasy, and it's just really good. And basically her dad gets like captured by the fae, and then she goes into the fae world to go get him back, and then like she falls in love with the fae, I think, pretty sure. The premise kind of gives off way too much, so I'm not gonna read it, but Emmy Rossum, I think that's how you pronounce her name, she like read it in one of her book vlogs, and I loved her description of it, and it sounded so good, so I added it to my TBR immediately, and it's been on my TBR for a while actually. Like, it's been on my radar. Then we have Ruthless Fae, which is the second Zodiac Academy book, and I'm really excited to read this one. I read the first Zodiac Academy like a year and a half ago. It feels like everyone and their mothers are like reading this book right now. Like Larry Yana, I think that's her name. I feel like really everyone is reading it or has read it already, so I feel the need to read it right now because I see some people's reactions, and it's similar reactions to the ones that I had while reading the Plated Prisoner series. So if I get as obsessed with this one as I got with the Plated Prisoner series, then I'm gonna be so happy and also bawl my eyes out at one point. So I read the first one in March of 2023, and it's like this girl, I think she's a ballet teacher for this guy's younger sister, and because their parents died. And then this one is the second one. Oh, and the third one came out already? Damn. But yeah, this one is about, okay, yeah, so forbidden, that's what they are to each other. Maddie Stephen has never felt good enough, not good enough for her to keep her parents' love, not good enough to be independent and stop her brother's problem, not good enough to build the future she wants. When she injures her ankle before a ballet audition that could change her life or career forever, she's convinced her life is over at 21. I think it's the friend of the other girl. What's the point of having dreams when they can go down the drain at any moment? And because the universe has a cruel sense of humor, her physical therapist turns out to be a tank-shaped grouch who doesn't even seem to like her that much. It's totally unfair that for 6 weeks, she's forced to look at that handsome beard and listen to that deep voice that makes her head all dizzy. Top the fact that he's 10 years her senior. Falling for James Simmons is a recipe for disaster. When the forced proximity makes the lines start blurring, the forbidden temptation becomes impossible to resist. Ooh, it sounds very good. Oh, they say that there's alcoholism, drugs, profanity, and death in this book, so be aware of that. But that book sounds so good, and I'm really excited to read it, and I loved the first book. I really loved it. I think I rated it 4 stars. What did I read the first one? Yeah, 4 stars. it was really good. And the fact that I can actually remember a lot of things about that book, even though it was probably like 130 books ago, is pretty, like, I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that. So, I mean, that's already great enough. But yeah, I really did enjoy that. I'm really excited to read that book. It's literally been on my TBR since I found out about it, and it was actually on my 24 books in 2024 list, which were 24 books that I want to read in 2024. So yeah, those were all the books that I'm hoping to read this month. If you have any like Halloween-y books that aren't too much horror, please recommend them to me, because I might do a video. I'm not sure. Like, I might do a Halloween themed video. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. If you have any other like types of TBR videos that I can make that you've seen other people make, then please let me know. I'm always down to like make videos that you guys want to see, because you guys are my audience and I'm making videos for you guys. So duh, I want you guys to like what you're watching. But yeah, I hope you guys have oh no, if you want more content, please make sure to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, all that. And yeah, I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day, morning, evening, whatever time it is for you guys. I love you, and I will see you next time, hopefully on Monday or Tuesday. Bye.